Hey folks, welcome back to the channel for another episode of Match Roasting with Mordecai, where I break down stages and explain why something went well or crashed in a fiery train wreck. The idea is to give you some useful advice that you can apply to your own shooting, or at least share a few laughs if you've been there and need someone to commiserate with. Today we're shooting a monthly match with the Texas Tin Horns at their fantastic range out in Leonard, Texas. If you're ever around on the first weekend of the month, be sure to come and say hi, but for now, you can live vicariously through me. Here's what you missed on the range. Okay, so stage one will be at Bart's Bordello, where we have the usual loadout with 10 pistol holstered at the right doorway, 10 rifle in the bed in the middle, and 4 plus shotgun on the left shelf. Order is pistol rifle shotgun or shotgun rifle pistol, and the start is either with your hands on the window frame or holding the bell cord in the doorway. At the beep, engage the targets by triple tapping the center and then single tapping the 2 outside targets and repeat. Rifle same as pistol and knock down the shotgun targets. So the pattern is pretty simple, and we do have a choice on the order, but nothing super complicated. So let's start by seeing what happened.
Sorry.
Ding ding!
Stand by.
Oh, you're saying just go.
Good job.
1752, 1752.
Nice run, Mordecai.
Okay, so the first decision on this stage is the gun order, which also involves the direction you want to move. Right-handed people find it easier to move to the right and vice versa for southpaws, but when the guns are staged in specific places, I'm more likely to give the gun order priority, and due to the chance of getting a hole stuck on the shotgun, I like to shoot it last, so we're starting with the pistols in the doorway. Now, I started as far back from the opening as I could so that I didn't have to take an extra step back after completing the pistol string. For the rifle, you do have to move up to the counter, so I just put it in the middle with the barrel pointing at the first target. To turn to the left with the rifle, I switch to my right hand so that I can start moving as I'm putting the rifle down and then immediately start grabbing for shotgun shells. The big thing for me on this stage is that it's the first stage, and going in cold isn't a great time to be pushing your limits, so I really just tried to be smooth and deliberate with my actions. It was nice that the instructions were pretty simple and had a pattern that splits nicely for two-handed shooters, so I could really focus on being conscious of the props and making good transitions. And everything pretty much went to plan, leaving me with a final time of 17:52. Stage 2 is at the Gunsmoke Smith Shop, where we have the standard loadout with the rifle and shotgun staged in the left window. Starting with hands on staged rifle, the order is rifle, shotgun, pistol. At the beep, engage the rifle targets in a 3-4-3 sweep. Then take the shotgun to the doorway in the middle and knock them down. Then make the shotgun safe in the right window and shoot the pistol same as rifle. So it looks like we have everything spelled out in the instructions. Let's see how it went.
Car.
Woo! Love to smell gunpowder in the morning.
Stand by. Daffy is one of yours.
Yeah, it is. I got it. Gloves on, huh?
1834, 1834 and clean.
Alrighty, so I don't know if you noticed or not, but today I'm sporting a new fancy pair of roping cuffs that I made. Now, when I was making these, I looked at some patterns, and most are closed at the bottom and then have a single strap at the wrist so you can get your hand through. I didn't like that you couldn't adjust the area that goes around your forearm, so I just used 3 buckles. What I didn't think about is how buckles stick out, and I managed to get the buttstock of my shotgun caught on the buckle as I was trying to load the first set of shotgun shells. So I guess now I understand why other cuffs have fewer and smaller buckles than the ones I was using. The moral here is just to be aware of your costume choices and make sure nothing is going to get in your way or make you unsafe while you're shooting. Anyway, this transition from the shotgun to the pistol has been getting better, but I still need to get that pistol extended faster so it's already on target as I let go of the shotgun. And another thing I need to start practicing is using the table rather than reholstering when the pistols are last. I haven't really done this much because I didn't want to form bad habits, but it probably would have saved me a second or so here, and if I don't practice it on the clock, it'll be harder to take advantage of at a match. Moving on to stage 3 at Fort Jackson, where we have the standard loadout and shooter's choice for order and placement, so that's exciting. Starting with hands on hat, engage the targets in a continuous Nevada sweep starting on either end. It does say that you have to shoot something from both openings, but you have lots of choices on what to shoot from each window and when to move. So before we get into that, let me show you what I did.
Come here, let me show you something.
Stand by.
Okay, so the crux of this stage is how to stage your guns and when to move. To start, you can shoot the rifle targets from anywhere, but the pistol targets are better in the right window and the shotgun targets are better in the left. I knew I wanted to shoot the shotgun last, and I wanted to combine the movement between windows with another action. So, because holstering a pistol is one of the most time consuming acts that you can do on the move, that made the most sense. And by moving to the rifle, I was able to have both long guns staged on the same table to make that transition easier. Now, I did see some people split their shotgun targets, but the rule about having to make them up where they're engaged made me nervous. You either have to hesitate and make sure they're down, or risk having to come back, which can be even more time consuming. It would also mean moving left while shucking, which isn't ideal for right-handed shooters, which maybe won't be a big deal someday, but I'm not there yet. I guess I also could have started with the rifle first, but I think going from rifle to pistol would have been a longer transition than rifle to shotgun. So, moving right along here to stage 4 at the Lion Shack, where we have the usual loadout, shotgun in the left doorway, rifle on the stove in the middle, and pistols on the right. Order is shooter's choice, rifle not last, with hands-on guns. At the beep, engage the targets with two separate 2-1-2 sweeps using all 5 targets. The sweeps can be diagonal, vertical, or horizontal, so we've got lots of options on this stage. So let's see how it went.
Hey, Baines!
Stand by. Woo! 1556.
Good run.
1556. Please.
Okay, so shotgun last. I know you're surprised. Let's talk target order. Now, in general, you want to reduce the muzzle movement as much as possible, but with stacked targets, you also want to try to start at the bottom and work up. If you're working up, you can always see the next target, whereas if you're trying to work down, it can be covered by your arm or the gun itself. So for the rifle, the least amount of overall and downward movement was the 2 diagonal sweeps. I could have done 2 vertical sweeps when splitting the pistols, but there wasn't a big enough advantage to making it worth crowding my mind with 2 patterns. Anyway, I have the long guns on either side of the stove because I knew I had to move anyway, and I really don't like working in tight spaces if I can avoid it. Now that I think about it, maybe I need to force myself to do that once in a while so I'm not trying something new on the clock. If I was going to put them both on one side of the stove, it would probably be the left side so I don't have to worry about catching my barrel on the top of the stove. Maybe I'll try that next time. Anyway, everything pretty much went to plan and I ended with a final time of 15:56. Okay, so we made it to stage 5, the Sweaty Ball Saloon. Looks like the standard loadout with long guns and hands starting on the middle of the bar. The order is pistol, rifle, shotgun. At the beep, engage the targets in an 1883 sweep, so 1 on 1, 8 on 2, 8 on 3, and 3 on 4. Then engage 2 shotgun targets until down, move to the right window, and engage the other 2. So that sounds pretty straightforward. Let's see how it went.
Your move!
Stand by. Two zero three two. 2032 clean.
Okay, so I know there's some math here, but the breakdown isn't as terrible as it sounds. The pistols actually split pretty nicely. The first pistol starts with 1 on 1 and then 4 on the second target, and then you just reverse that on the second pistol, 4 more on the same target, and then 1 on the third. The big challenge here is to not jack around out of your rifle. It is surprisingly easy to get ahead of yourself on target dumps like this, and the actions on these guns work differently when you're just dry firing, so if you're not loading snap caps or something, it's easy to cheat and form bad habits. Clearly, I wasn't focused enough here, and I got to show off my reload, but it still cost me a few seconds. I did think I was pretty slick moving with the shotgun as I was picking it up. It put me closer to the targets and window for that first set of shots, but then I fumbled the second set of shells anyway. I need to figure out a way to practice re-rolling those shells in when something like this happens, because it does seem to happen once every other match or so. Anyway, not a great stage, but not a total train wreck either, I suppose, with a final time of 20:32. Alrighty, made it to stage 6 at Rudoso's Buckboard service. We have the standard loadout, but pistols are staged on the horse. The order is shooter's choice, rifle not last, and starting with hands-on guns. At the beep, engage the targets in a progressive sweep, so 1 on 1, 2 on 2, 3 on 1, 4 on 2, and then knock down the shotgun targets. Important note here, the pistols may be restaged or holstered, and you'll see why that's important here in a second. So without further ado, let's watch this final stage and see how it went.
All right, boys, let's go to town.
Stand by. One, 4, 9, 3. 1, 4, 9, 3, and claim. Good run.
Thank you.
Okay, so shotgun last. I know, shocked. The split on the pistols for this pattern is 1, 2, 2, and then 1, 4 on the second pistol. It's a pretty common split, so it's worth practicing if you're not comfortable with it yet. Anyway, in the past I have staged the last pistol since that's usually faster than reholstering, but here I was able to start moving in the direction of the rifle as the last shot is fired. It's probably an extra half or a quarter second, but those add up, and this works regardless of your holster setup. So after the sting of the previous stage, I was very deliberate with the rifle here, but I was real proud of this sidestep between the long guns. I did a right-hand discard so that I could be grabbing shells with my left, and I kept my body facing forward rather than turning before I moved. Footwork is another place where you can really shave time, so I try to be as efficient as possible. Overall, this stage went exactly to plan, and a 1493 was a great way to end the day. Oh yeah, and did you notice I shot clean today? I managed to score second place with an overall time of 103.75, which is a personal record and well on my way to my goal of breaking the 100-second barrier this year. Rusty still had a pretty commanding lead, but I'm getting closer. I'll just have to keep on practicing. Anyway, that's it for now. If you enjoyed the video, please sacrifice to the YouTube gods by hitting the like and subscribe button, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions or ideas. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see y'all on the range.